Hello and welcome to the Autocar training program on the ACX headlamp system components and operation. I'm Chester Burgess. Before we begin this program, we highly recommend that you download and print out the student manual that's available along with this video. Then follow along as we go through the course. In this course, our objectives are for the student to be able to identify the components in the ACX headlamp circuits, to demonstrate the ability to accurately describe the location of each headlamp system component, and to understand the operation of those circuits. And then we'll finish out this training program with a quick look at access to the Autocar technical support system that's available both online and by phone. So to start out with, we'll run through the components that we're going to cover. The vehicle electronic control unit. The control unit also communicates with the multiplex vehicle electrical center. However, the MVEC is not a part of the headlamp system in this case. Fuse box 1 and fuse box 2. Of course, the headlight switch, the high beam switch, and finally the headlight relay. Start out with, we'll talk about the vehicle electronic control unit, or the VECU. We also call that the VCU and the VCM in different publications and schematics. The VECU is mounted under the primary side driver's armrest. So remove the thumb screws, remove the armrest cover to access the VECU. The VECU is connected to the vehicle through two harness connectors, a black connector and a white connector. The black connector is labeled MUXB and the white connector MUXW. The P, which either precedes or follows the harness connector identification, indicates that that is a plug rather than a receptacle. When we wire our circuits and identify those in the schematics, we'll refer to those as circuit pin B12 or B6 or W9. So make sure when you're checking out one of those circuits, you're in the correct colored connector. Fuse box 1 and fuse box 2 both have components for the headlamp system, and they're mounted under the dash on the primary driver's side of the vehicle. The circuit maps for fuse box 1 and 2 can be located underneath the armrest cover on the primary side of the vehicle. Refer to those circuit maps for all component locations. The headlamp switch mounted in the forward control panel up next to the windshield. Now let's talk about headlamp circuit operation. The headlamps are operated anytime the headlamp switch is in the on position. The headlamp switch gets its power off of fuse number 4, which is located in fuse box number 1, and when turned on, supplies an input to the VECU on pin W27. The circuit breaker, located in fuse box number 1, is the fourth one down, or the fourth slot down on the right hand side, and is identified as F4. This is a manual reset circuit breaker that must be physically reset should it trip. The high beam switch is located on the turn signal switch lever. It is a toggling switch. Lift it once to go to high beam, lift it again to go back to low beam. The high beam switch controls the headlamp relay, which is located in fuse box number 2. The headlight relay is a 5-pin relay. Make sure to install it in the correct orientation in the fuse box. If you accidentally turn it upside down, pin 87A will not contact the correct pin. The high beam switch gets its power from the accessory circuit in the cab. When it's de-energized, the VECU responds, de-illuminating or turning off the high beam indicator lamp, and the relay in fuse box 2 for the headlights remains de-energized. Activating the high beam switch sends a signal to the VECU, which responds by illuminating the high beam indicator lamp, and we also send that 12-volt signal to the headlamp relay, which activates and changes the ground over to the high beam side of the headlamp circuits. To check the operation of the headlamp high beam switch, Disconnect the white connector, put a suitable probe on pin 25, and check the voltage as you toggle between high beam and low beam. Now let's turn our attention to the VECU primary headlight outputs. There are 8 outputs total for the 2 headlamps, 4 for the primary and 4 for the secondary. The 4 primary outputs are in pin 24, 25, 26, and 27 of the white connector. Once leaving the connector, those splice together and become circuit 30P and deliver 12 volts or 6 volts, depending on the operation of the headlamps, to the primary side lamp. The secondary circuit utilizes 2 pins in the black connector, pin 1 and pin 13, and 2 pins in the white connector, pin 12 and pin 23. Again, those splice together and this time deliver power to the secondary headlamp over circuit 30S. The operation of the headlamps, when the low beam is selected, so the headlamps are turned on, the input goes to the VECU for headlamps on, and the VECU responds by powering up all 8 outputs. Those are 12 volt outputs. They're fed to each of the headlamps, and the headlamps are then grounded through the normally closed contact of fuse box number 2's headlight relay. When we activate the high beams, we not only send that signal to VECU to command the headlamp high beam indicator lamp on, we power up the relay in fuse box number 2, and that headlamp relay then switches the ground from pin 87A over to pin 87, grounding the high beams, effectively operating the high beams and shutting down the low beams. For daytime running lamp operations, when trucks are equipped with this option, the VECU changes its output from 12 volts on those 8 circuits down to 50% of battery voltage, so you read somewhere between 6 to 7 volts with the engine running. Keep in mind that the dimmer switch or high beam switch input is ignored by the VECU, therefore the high beam lamp never illuminates on the instrument cluster. The relay is still powered up and may switch between high and low during daytime running lamp operation. To check the voltage at the headlamp, always a good idea to remove the headlamp, either check the voltage or replace it with a known good lamp before proceeding. But then check the voltage on each of the circuits, looking at both high beam and low beam voltage or DRL voltage, whatever the case might be. If voltage is present, then we need to verify that ground, remembering that that ground runs back through the headlamp relay in fuse box number 2. Now let's turn our attention over to Autocar technical support resources. You can access Autocar by calling us at toll-free 888-218-3611. Somebody will be standing by to take your call many hours of the day. If you can't reach us by phone, or you'd rather use the internet, you can reach us online at autocartruck.com. Make sure you get the web address in your browser correctly, and there will be many choices from our homepage. Our homepage will load with Joe Autocar doing a little flash demo for you, and then it will activate all the different buttons on that screen. In most cases, you might choose refuse trucks to proceed. In this case, we're going to go up the right-hand side and locate the green diamond that says Web Link Direct. Selecting that green diamond will take you into our Web Link Direct system, which is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week tech support system. It's a very simple form to fill out. Merely complete all the requested information and submit it. We'll ask for your name, a valid email address. You can choose to copy someone if you want to CC someone for reference, a supervisor or maybe a second or third shift person. We want to know then the truck's location. All we need to know from that is going to be the city and the state. We don't need to know if it's in the shop or an exact address, but city and state for us, please. The VIN number. Just give us the last 6 numbers. That's all we need to effectively identify your truck. Fill in your phone number where you can be reached. Then from the drop-down box, choose one of the menu selections that best meets your needs. You have several selections. For this case, we're just going to choose service. Then in the box below, type in your request, your question, your comment. You don't need to fill the box out completely, just fill in enough down there, we'll know what to look for. Finally, take the security code, type the security code in the blank provided, and once that's in there, check it over, and then click Submit. You'll get a message back saying it's been submitted, and someone will call you back within 20 minutes or less. To review our course, we've identified the components in the ACX headlamp circuits. We've given you the ability to demonstrate how to accurately describe the location of each headlamp system component, and we've given you the understanding of the operation of those circuits. Finally, we talked about how to access Autocar technical support. Feel free to use any of the access methods to contact us if you have questions for any Autocar problem. Once you've reviewed the course and are competent that you feel you understand the information, then complete the post-test information. Start at the top, fill in your information at the top of the review, answer all the questions, choosing the best answer. Even if you think there's 2 right answers or no right answers, choose the one you feel is best. This is an open book test. Finally, follow the instructions to submit your review for processing. And finally, for any questions relating directly to this course or to other courses or other subjects, feel free to contact me directly. My name is Chester Burgess. You can reach me by email at cburgess@autocartruck.com, or you can call my mobile at 765-808-4466. We'd like to thank you very much for your participation. We look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, have a good day.